Vehicles are like your ride buddies for cruising around. Folks, it could be a car, a bike, or even a skateboard, just to keep the journey cool and hassle-free. There are tons of vehicle types out there, from cars, motorcycles, buses, trucks, airplanes, ships, bicycles, all the way to skateboards. But hey, when you put it all together, vehicles can be sorted into 4 main categories: sea, land, air, and outer space. The 2 biggest sea beasts in the world are none other than the Russian ZUBR and the MS Seagulson. Let's dive into the Russian ZUBR first. Mind-blowing fact about the Russian ZUBR. It's a seriously cool hovercraft that'll make your jaw drop. It's like a plane, but it glides over water, and get this, it can cruise on land too. Crazy, right? Designed to transport troops to the battlefield, this ship comes equipped with a sloping ramp at the front and the back. And guess what? It can hold a boatload of passengers. Like, seriously. It can carry a whole battalion plus 80 armored vehicles, or roughly 360 soldiers and 10 battle tanks. And check this out. It's packing a 6-barrel high rate of fire missile defense system and 4 anti-aircraft rockets. Now, on to the next rad ride. The king of the sea, the MS Seagulson. MS Seagulson is the biggest container ship on the planet, folks, with a length of up to 400 meters and a width of 60 meters. This ship is seriously impressive. But wait, there's more. The MS Seagulson can handle over 23,000 standard containers. But here's the real cool part. MS Seagulson boasts some high-tech wizardry and super efficient engines, making it glide smoothly and save fuel. It's like the eco-friendly champ of container ships. How cool is that? And let's not forget the facilities on this thing. It's got a whopping 2,000 refrigerated containers, keeping food, drinks, medicines, and frozen goods in tip-top shape. Back in the day, folks feared the Kraken, but now the Kraken better watch out when it runs into this ship. On land, there are also 2 vehicles holding the title for the biggest on Earth, and they're none other than the limousine and the Jeep. Up to now, the longest limousine ever is the American Dream, also known as the Midnight Rider. This ride made it into the Guinness Book of Records as the world's longest car, stretching over 30 meters, and no one's topped it yet. Its owner, Jay, had the idea and started working on it back in the 1980s, and finally brought it to life in 1992. Because it's so long, this car needs a whopping 26 wheels, 6 in the front and 20 in the back. And get this, inside the limousine, there are loads of luxurious features, like a small swimming pool, a mini helicopter, a jacuzzi, and even a tiny cruise ship. Then we've got the Jeep owned by super wealthy Hamad bin Hamdan. Abu Dhabi is like the land of the super wealthy people, but for this tycoon, Sultan Hamad bin Hamdan, collecting hypercars just isn't enough. He's a member of the royal family in the United Arab Emirates. This dude's known for having a 6.4-meter tall replica of a Jeep Willys, all to satisfy his collection cravings. This tycoon is famous for being a car collector with hundreds of rides in his stash. Even though this Jeep is a replica, believe it or not, it's fully functional and can actually be driven. In fact, this Jeep made it into the Guinness World Records as the largest motor vehicle in the world back in 2010. Sadly, we don't know the exact dough he had to drop to build this replica, but you can bet it didn't come cheap. Up in the sky, we're talking about some seriously massive choppers and planes, folks. First up, let's talk about the MIL Mi-26 helicopter, which is basically like a giant among other choppers. This thing is so huge that it can carry a load of over 20 tons. Yeah, you heard that right, 20 tons. This Mi-26 is massive, nearly 33 meters long, and standing around 8 meters tall. It's the kind of sight that'll leave you wide-eyed in awe. This helicopter's got 2 big rotors on top, and packs some serious power. Oh, and it's got 5 strong engines that make it fly stable and smooth. The Mi-26 is often used to haul heavy equipment, military troops, or humanitarian aid to hard-to-reach places. Now, how about the Antonov AN-225 Hey there guys, have you ever heard of the Antonov AN-225 It's one heck of a plane, huge, cool, and absolutely mind-blowing. Mrija in Ukrainian means dream, and no wonder, because this plane is a total showstopper. The AN-225 Mrija holds the record as the world's largest plane, stretching almost 85 meters in length, standing 18 meters tall, with wings that span up to a whopping 88 meters. This plane is so big that it can even carry other planes or enormous equipment. Imagine having to move some giant gear to a different spot. The AN-225 is up for the task, ready to take it wherever it needs to go. When you see this plane, you're gonna be struck by its powerful and imposing presence. But there's more to it. The super high tail gives it a unique look that sets it apart from your regular planes. This aircraft often steps in for humanitarian missions, flying aid to remote disaster-stricken areas. In the world of outer space, you've probably heard of these two beasts, the Saturn V rocket and the NASA crawler transporter. Exactly 50 years ago, on July 16, 1969, NASA made history by launching Apollo 11 from Launch Pad 39A at Kennedy Space Center, Cape Canaveral, Florida, USA. The world witnessed the launch of the most powerful rocket ever built, capable of taking humans to the moon. That rocket was the Saturn V. Let's break down the specs to see just how massive the Saturn V really was. Standing at 111 meters tall, it's like having a 36-story building on the launch pad. And the weight, a whopping 2.8 million kilograms, that's about 400 elephants. But here's the kicker. The fuel used in the Apollo 11 mission could have powered a car to circumnavigate the Earth 800 times. When it blasted off, it generated a mind-blowing thrust of 34.5 million newtons. With specs like these, the Saturn V could haul around 118 tons of payload into Earth's orbit, or over 6 Scania double-decker buses. Now, onto the NASA crawler transporter. This thing is the heavyweight champion of ground transport, capable of moving space shuttles around. Designed by Bucyrus International and built by Marion Power Shovel, the crawler transporter carries spacecraft from the vehicle assembly building along the crawlerway to Launch Complex 39, and it came with a price tag of $14 million United States dollars. Back in the day, this baby was the king of carriers. It weighs a whopping 2,721 tons and rocks 8 track wheels, 2 at each corner. Every track wheel has 57 rollers, each weighing a hefty 900 kilograms. Now, if you know of any other colossal vehicles out there, don't be shy, drop a comment. Thanks for tuning in, and catch you in the next video.